Hey, no brains, no headache listeners. You can find every episode on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Episodes are available to watch on YouTube where you can subscribe, like, and comment on each episode. Make sure to follow No Brains, No Headache on your favorite social media platform for up to date news, clips, and poorly timed jokes. Now let's get into this week's episode.
No brains, no headache. That's the way I like it. Turn my worries into jokes. Set them on fire while we light it. No brains.
No Brains, No Headache podcast, episode 290. We're back for yet another mindlessly entertaining spot for about the next 60 or so, you could say. But we're happy to be here. Damn glad to do it. Name's Jordan, going to be your host today. Happy to be here. Damn glad to do it. Across from me, co-host, confidant, longtime friend, fellow comedian. Bismarck's funniest, actually. It's very talented, rather ugly Matt Cleary. Ongo, how we doing today?
Terrible. To be honest, we got to stop recording on Mondays. It's like,
Oh my God.
You know what could bring this show to be even worse somehow? Let's do it on the day that none of us want to record.
I'm glad we're both on the same page. I was just like, oh man, I still got to do that today. This is not the time.
I
There's a
got
time
home
and a
from
place.
I got home from work. I'm like, I'm gonna be so productive for like these 2 hours. Now that you're 2 hours behind me, I'm like, I'm gonna be really productive. And then when Jordan texts me, then I can, like get things together and record the podcast. I got home, literally laid in bed, watched the new episodes of Marshalls, the Yellowstone spinoff. Highly
Okay.
recommend, by the way.
Okay.
And and I laid in bed because I threw away my couch downstairs and don't have another one.
You don't have the replacement couch ready, so it's just a empty
yeah.
living room.
Yeah, it's just like an empty living room with like some blankets. And the other day, my buddy Brad was like, "Dude, let's go play some video games." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure." We both like walked downstairs, and I was like, "I forgot I threw my couch away." So we sat on folding chairs and played video games.
Jesus Christ. Just the male form.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
that's like that time I showed up to record and you were just fast asleep and you're
and then I pretended like I wasn't. I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
Oh, I woke you up and I was like, you were like, what the hell are you doing here? And I was like, it's 2:45. We said we were gonna record.
It's a late start to the morning. I went to Nashville last week for the first time ever.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna come out.
Trashville.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out and say it. Nashville is the most overrated city in the United States.
So you had a really good time.
I mean, it was fun, but like, it's like cool. Let's go down to Broadway. I'll have a Jameson ginger ale. They're like $33, and I'm like, okay.
You know, just make it a ginger ale. Thanks.
They're like, that'd be $31. I'm like, what if I just wanted whiskey? They're like $38. I'm like, how are we doing math here?
Yeah, what kind of pricing system do we have here?
And then I went to this one bar that everyone told me to go to, like some Western bar, which narrows it down in Nashville. But I go in there and I'm like, can I just get a Busch Light? And he's like, $2.50. And I was like, $250? And he's like, no, $2.50. And I was like, why didn't I just come here in the first place?
Did you find that one on one of the last days?
No, I went there. We went there for like a little bit. And then the last day we found, like, if you end up accidentally going to Nashville, my biggest recommendation for you is go to East Nashville. There's a string of like 10
Nash.
Yeah, like 10 dive bars that are just huge bars, but like not very busy and just kind of shitholes, but they're awesome. And then they have like really good food trucks around there. I ate like a huge burger and a bunch of tater tots and just vomited all of them up.
Yeah, good old Trashville. That's interesting. $2.50 beers, you say?
Yeah, they're just 12-ounce Busch Lights, but and then they like have a guy coming around that has like a Venmo like QR thing on him and a bucket. And he's like, tips for the band. And he's like pretty aggressive about it. And I was like, and I like looked in the bucket and there was just like hundreds of dollars in there. And I was like, I just paid $33 for a drink.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Did you make it to Nashville's a really good wing joint, I believe. It's called Buffalo Wild Wings.
I went to Wingstop, actually.
Did you really?
No. There was one day I had to work down there, and all the guys I was with were like, we want to go to Waffle House. And I'm like, guys, forewarning you, I've been to Waffle House. There's not going to be any fights if you go during the day. And they're like, oh, we know. And then they come back. They're like, there wasn't any fights there. And I was like, oh, if only someone could have warned you about that. And it's like,
is that what Waffle House has become? Is people go and want to see a just chow down some flapjacks while you're just watching two dudes beat the shit out of each other?
Dude, it's inevitable too. Like, and like cops only take someone away if there's like a felony that's committed or like blood's drawn. I went when I was in Georgia, and like if you go to a Waffle House after 2 a.m., dollars to donuts, there's gonna be more fights than open seats in the place.
So you're a seasoned Waffle House vet by the sounds of it.
I went like 3 times when I was in Georgia, and it was
3 times in one trip.
Yeah, me and this one dude, he like every night we'd get back and like everyone would be going to bed. He's like, we gonna do it again? And I was like, yeah, I suppose.
Just Waffle House it up.
Yeah, but Nashville, most overrated city in the continental United States. If you want to go cool, bring your checkbook.
Final review of Nashville.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it here first. I mean, Matt was out in Nash, so that's good. What did I do? Went to the Cubs game. Was doing had a little booth there. And so, yeah, I didn't watch a lick of the game. Like, I didn't even know stuff was happening until somebody, it was like in the first inning, somebody just hit a dong shot for the Dodgers, just straight out to center field. And like, there was kind of a reaction in the crowd. They were like all moving. Excuse me. Gotta wet my whistle. But interesting time as it's getting hot in Arizona. We're about to experience the hottest March ever or something.
Yeah. You brought it with you.
What can I say? Brought the heat with me. And so this like elderly lady and like her daughter or whatever, like they asked if she could sit down in a chair and like grab some shade, and we're like, yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, it's pretty hot out. I mean, for a woman of your age, probably, not running at 100%. Matter of fact, very far from it. And so she sat down. She was fine. She was like chatting us up or whatever. And I was like busy helping people, like working. They're doing this like sign up thing. So I was just kind of like walking everybody through it. And then I look over and the old lady's standing and the daughter's in the chair, and she's just like got her tongue hanging out of her mouth and just like she straight up passed out. And like it is busy, Matt. Like A, there's just people everywhere, but B, like we have a bunch of people at our vendor booth, and like that was just our job, is to get these people to sign up. And it was just a little bit of a process, and we're just chatting people up pretty much. And yeah, I'm like, I look at the other person I'm working with, we're like, what did we sign up for? I don't know anything about, saving a human life. I'm pretty much essentially useless there in that department.
Get up and slowly put her into the nearest garbage can.
Yeah.
Lost another one out there.
But yeah, and then like the person I was talking to, I was like, is anybody in the medical field? And she's like, I'm a nurse. And I was like, would you mind helping this person? Like, yeah. So
what if
like she straight up passed out, like they were holding her up, and like she like was like doesn't remember what happened until she came to.
What if you were like, is anyone in the medical field? And some guy's like, I'm a dentist. And you're like, anybody else in the medical field?
We have a CNA perhaps.
Or
does anybody administer the medicine every day? Count
anyone take 8th grade health? You're in. I was like, another one I was thinking of, like, anyone in the medical field? And like, if someone didn't know that someone passed out, and some guy's like, yeah, I sell medical devices. You're like, okay, bud.
Yeah. I'm a drug rep. Okay, well, yeah. You're just Yeah, if I need a good recommendation on a random airport in Omaha, Nebraska,
Yeah.
that's where you'll come into play.
If I need to know what gas station boner pills to avoid, let me know.
But yeah, so that happened, and I mean, it was hot. We had these like cooling towels that you put around your neck, and then put them in like ice cold water, and like those were a hit. Everybody loved them, so it was pretty hot. I was chilling in the shade as much as I could. I had to try out some ballpark food. I got this. Something about this place that was right behind us. It had some chicken tendies and fries, and it really just hit the spot. But then I was walking around a little bit later, and like not too far down from us is like I noticed something was on the ground, and like as I got closer, I concluded that it was in fact human vomit. And then as like as like I came around more, there was just like a lady just holding like her baby out in front of us. And this was so much puke. I don't know how that baby had like all that puke in them, but holy hell, they really gave it their all. So it was just like for me, it was just like didn't even watch the Cubs game because I was like kind of busy and had a shitty view. But then I'm just like, people are puking, they're passing out. Like, what the hell's going on out here?
The Cubs lost by 1,000,000 runs. It's like no one
they got
had fun.
crushed.
Yeah, no one had fun in the stadium.
Well, they even had a good like lineup besides like PCA and Bregman. Like they pretty much had like all the other like main starters start the game. But yeah, oh well. It was a nice day out. Got a little red on my nose. I don't know if you can tell that, but I look like a fucking moron. So that's cool. I got that going for me. But yeah, it was just like there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
It was like, get me out of here. Also, found cool find in Arizona. Found a butcher shop / liquor store. Like,
oh fuck.
Yeah.
You don't need to go any other place.
Yeah, I was like, this is amazing. There's just like one-stop shop here.
If I could go to my butcher shop and get booze, I would quite literally probably not go to any other stores.
Well, and it was cool because like there was like a pretty like smaller section of beers, but they had like a large variety of like the big cans and not just like Steel Reserve and like Bud Light, and like they had a bunch of flavors there. So I was like, that's awesome. They just had unique 32-ounce cans at a butcher shop. Wow, you're in for a real treat.
Dude, I got home from the bars in Nashville and Cole and I were just shit canned and we watched Grandma's Boy.
Oh wow.
Such a good movie.
Were you guys just dying the whole time?
Oh, we would just like lead up to it, like we'd say the quote beforehand, and then both just giggle like schoolgirls when they said it. Like, I can't believe you came on my mom.
My name's JP. I have a robot. I have a robot vagina.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fun. But I hate when I go on to Yahoo because like a lot of what I say on this podcast, I just go on to Yahoo and look at news articles. And I hate when North Dakota is in the news because it's never anything good.
Yeah.
Never like North Dakotan gives out millions of dollars to homeless. It's always like this one maybe takes the cake. So in Fargo, a lady went into a bank using someone else's ID and took out a ton of money from bank account. Elderly lady. They submitted the video to an AI program, and this AI program did some sort of facial recognition and came back with a lady in Tennessee who matched it. So in July, North Dakota authorities go down to Tennessee, arrest this lady, and bring her back to Fargo in July.
I'm following you so far.
It wasn't her. AI messed up. And they kept her for 5 months. And then released her. Lady from Tennessee got taken in July. Released her in December in North Dakota.
And they're just like, whoops, our bad.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Hopefully you find your way home.
How does that work?
I'm assuming the city or the county is gonna just get sued and
okay, yeah, they're just gonna
let's
just do a lawsuit.
I hope this lady is smart enough to just win millions of dollars and not have to work anymore, because I don't know how one goes to keeping someone for 5 months. And she's like, I've never even been or know anyone from North Dakota.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the ball is now in your court.
Yeah.
To take them to court, quite literally.
And this next one, I'm going to preface with it is a tragedy and very sad.
All right, thank you for the heads up.
But very funny. So, in Georgia, a bunch of teens go to their 40-year-old math teacher's house and teepee his house.
I thought you were going to say something else.
They just got just wobbly H their male math teacher.
Okay.
Okay, so these teens go to Georgia. They're going to high school in Georgia. They go to their math teacher's house and teepee his house, and then bang him. This is where it gets interesting. So after they're done banging him, so they teepee the house, and he comes out of the house and starts chasing him, in which he trips going into the street and accidentally gets ran over and dies.
Oh, wow.
By one of the teens' cars.
Just gets ran. Oh, wow. Bad day.
So it turns out it wasn't very much of a harmless prank, you could say.
Yeah.
If anything,
you think afterwards they're like, whoa, guys, that one kind of backfired.
So
we're all in jail.
Yeah. And now his wife is dropping all charges. She's like, there's already been one tragedy. Like, good on her. Like, don't ruin these kids' lives. But at the same time, I would go after him.
Like fucking kill them?
Yeah, I would hire John Wick. But
you wouldn't do it yourself, you'd hire it out.
No, I don't like blood. But it gets worse because I found out that the teacher was in on the prank and he was letting him do it. And then for a show, he's like, I'll pretend to chase you out of the house. So they knew it was happening, but then he tripped and fell in the street and got ran over.
Wait, what kind of teacher's I'll chase you out of my house? That's weird.
Well, from what we were talking about,
they pre-planned this?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're banging.
Not much of a prank. Like when you and I flipped off the camera in our school picture and they had to retake it.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
No fun.
So that's all I got. You got anything else for housekeeping?
Oh, no, let's do episode 290.
Okay. Let's party.
It's a quick 18-minuter.
Yeah, that's the bet. Well, last week we talked about Friday Night Lights for 45 minutes. And then we are like,
I got some compliments on that though. That was a big hit.
Yeah, it was
a good debate.
Yeah. And I did watch Friday Night Lights on the plane and have changed my position. It's movie.
Yeah.
All the way.
Did you watch? Did we record and then you watched the Friday Night Lights movie literally right away? And you're like, everything I said was a sham.
Yeah. Well, 50%. So I'm definitely more in line with your voting. Because I think I said Tim Riggins. It's Billingsley. 100%.
I think I said Riggins.
Yeah, but no, it's Billingsley. They pan to him when they're at that party, and he's just bonging a beer, and it just throws up in the sink.
It's the little things that you don't, always see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the cool part about Billingsley is he just partied.
Oh God, it was
as his quarterback Mike Winchell's just getting plowed.
Yeah. I love how the girls I made you a Rice Krispie figure. It's fucking just blow him.
You said it, sister.
But
before
we go another 45 minutes on Friday Night Lights, which we could, and I would very much enjoy. March Madness is back, and I'm so excited. Last year, I picked a ton of upsets, and it was historically the least amount of upsets there ever was. So this year, I'm not picking as many upsets, and there's going to be a ton now.
You do the old reverse jinx.
Yep. But I did do before we were getting ready to record, I was doing a bracket based on mascots of which mascot would win.
Mhm.
So out of the East region, do you want the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8?
Let's just go Elite 8, I guess.
Yeah. So out of the East region, we got 5 seeded the St. John Red Storm taking on the Michigan State Spartans.
We don't know what a red storm is,
I'm just assuming a large tornado that is red.
which is scary. And we could go with that. I was thinking it's just a ton of bloodshed on
Yeah.
a battlefield.
I
In
also
that
think
case, they win.
could like a red storm be like slang for like saying a girl's on her period?
I mean, it certainly could be.
Yeah, my
I
wife's a
don't
real
think-
bitch. We got the red storm this week.
I don't think that's what St. John's was going for, but maybe you know, like in like summer times in North Dakota or around here when we get monsoon season and haboobs, like you know, in the sky is all sorts of colors, but it's also like stormy out. It could be like that,
Yeah.
if that made any sense. What if it's a storm on Mars?
Ooh.
Like
in
you've
The
seen The
Martian.
Martian?
Yeah.
And he just gets lit up by
Yeah.
the wind.
And then left behind by his so-called friends.
Yeah,
We're gonna
they're
come
like-
back and get you. We'll be there in 9 months.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So I'm gonna take St. John's to
Yep.
win that one. Out of the South, oddly enough, it's the 1 seed Gators, Florida, versus the 2 seed, the Houston Cougars.
There's two schools of thought here.
I think it's Gator.
I was gonna give the edge to Gator.
Yeah. I don't think a Cougar does that much damage. I was gonna say, or we could go the other ways because Idaho, the 15 seed, is the Vandals.
Like
But
the
I don't
kids
know.
Who
Yeah.
TP'd their math
Yeah,
teacher's
they did a
house and
pretty good
killed
job
him.
of killing their math teacher. So maybe like, I don't know, maybe like
Sorry, where are we at?
so Florida versus Houston. Florida gets the
Yeah.
edge. The West is where it gets really weird because Long Island is the Sharks, and I have them making a run to the Sweet 16, but then they run into the very formidable Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, and I feel like the Rainbow Warriors would beat the Sharks.
Dude, it's a shark, man. We're talking,
Okay.
What are we talking, like a great white?
Okay, we're gonna give it to the Sharks. You changed my mind, but then the Sharks run into the Miami Hurricanes in the Elite 8, and
Shit,
which is
man.
that's a recipe for Sharknado.
When you think of it that way, yeah.
Gotta
But
give it to the Canes.
I mean, yeah, ultimately, yes, it's a force of nature that is not to be taken lightly.
And then out of the Midwest, we have the 1 seed Wolverines taking on the 2 seed Cyclones.
I feel like everything's going to just what nature and weather and stuff.
I mean, that's at one point like TCU plays Ohio State. That is a frog or a toad versus a nut.
Frog.
Yeah, I mean the frog won. And then I picked the frog over the Blue Devil because I'm not really sure what a Blue Devil is.
Yeah, I've never really understood that.
I'm assuming it's like a knight or something, but he would just step on the frog and get poisoned and die. So
Yeah, I don't know. We got to
Yes.
go with Cyclones.
yep. So final 4, we have the Red Storm versus the Gators.
Here we are again.
Yeah, we
That's
got
the
to
That's the Red Storm.
got Matt Damon and the Martian going into the finals, taking on Matt. This is a good matchup. This bracket's gonna do better than my actual bracket, which is the worst part about it. The Hurricanes versus the Cyclones.
Hurricanes.
And then the
They're
Red
back
Storm.
in the national championship.
Yeah, we got the Red Storm versus the Hurricanes. We got Earth versus Mars.
I'm gonna give it to Miami.
All right.
That'd
Lock
be
it in.
wild if Miami went to the national championship in men's basketball. What's
that'd be
what
pretty
seed are
nuts.
they?
They're a 7 seed.
Why
Yeah.
not? Why not? I have no idea. I'm so bad at being a college basketball fan. Do you have any who's looking good?
I'll hear one thing and then I'll pick that team to go to the Elite Eight. They'll be like, their shooting guards really turning it on this time of year. And I'll be like, they're going to make a run. And then they lose by 40 in the first round. I'm like, or I forget to tune in and I'm like, well, let's see how my bracket's doing. And I turn on the games on Thursday at 1:00. And I'm like, okay, I already have a Final Four team out.
Yeah. Gets ugly early.
Yeah, but we'll see. I've got high hopes for this year. I also have a bet with my buddy that we've been doing for 10 years where we bet on every single game, money line. Just go back and forth. First round's $5, second round's $10, and just goes to 20 and then 40 and then 80. And I think there was 1 year there at the end of all of the betting, I think I won $10. But then there was 1 year because we do in the finals, whoever is losing has the option to do double or nothing, but they have to bet on the underdog. And 1 year I was down $180 and FAU was playing whoever won the national title. And I bet on FAU and they just got their doors blown off.
Whoops.
Yeah. But March Madness.
Things got away from you. Who's looking good? Talk to me like a 5-year-old about this year's teams.
As a Duke fan,
They're looking good. They've only lost twice all year.
but they have 2 starters that just got injured and are
Just
probably
got
not.
arrested.
Yeah. Well, actually, an Alabama player did just get arrested, their second leading scorer. Apparently
He'll be on the
was
court.
yeah, he was dealing drugs, so he's going to be out for probably at least 1 game.
Dealing drugs, huh?
Yeah, St. John's is on a heater. Kansas kind of sucks. I don't know anything about. I hope NDSU loses by 1,000.
What about Arizona?
They're good. Them and Michigan are solid teams. I heard some guy say today that UCLA has a good point guard, so I picked them to go to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
And there was VCU, the last time they were an 11 seed, they made it to the Final Four. So I picked them to go to the Sweet 16 with no other knowledge other than that being a minor coincidence.
I don't know. I feel like after you do 2 or 3 brackets, you're just I have no idea what's happening right now.
Yeah. I mean, High Point University, have you seen their campus?
Is that the really nice one?
It's a Club Med that has an ice cream truck and a steak restaurant, which is different because most colleges just have a cafeteria you go to that gives you dysentery.
Gotta watch out for that.
Someone said, and all they said was, gotta watch out for Kennesaw State. So I picked them to win the first game.
Yeah, I always fall for that too, where somebody just has a random hunch. Oh, they know what they're talking about.
St. Louis has a really weird dude that wears goggles, so I picked them to go to the Elite Eight.
Well, that's solid right there. That is how it works. Or if they have a player on their team that has a really funny name.
Yeah,
They're
he's He's like 6'9" and can't dunk. He's just so unathletic, but he just dominates.
Or you got to find the one school this year, like they're gonna have like a very fat white dude who's just athletic as hell.
Dude, this is
And like,
kind of the dude from St. Louis.
yeah, who's that gonna be this year? St. Louis guy?
Yeah, I think so. I'm calling it right now, but
Like they just put up like 34 points and just
like he's gonna be America's sweetheart, and then just
yeah.
like, and then they lose by 65 points in like the Sweet 16. Like Florida Gulf Coast when they made a run to the Sweet 16, like this team could win it all, and then like 2 days later, it's like, and Florida Gulf Coast drops a tight one, 106-41. And
What does he call? What do they dunk?
Dunk City.
Dunk City.
That's Florida Gulf Coast is another one of those colleges that I was like, after that happened, I was like, I should have went to school there, man. They have a wakeboarding team.
That's pretty sweet, actually. Anything else?
Nope.
Big shout out to Poker Night. Been
Yeah,
going
how's
to
that going?
It's terrific.
You win
And
yet?
I've out of 4 times I've won once, so I'm not great, but
Overall, does that still put you down money or?
yeah, and it's only like small buy-ins, like $10 buy-ins. You can
Oh,
buy in
cool.
a few
That's
times,
fun though.
couple
The
times if you want.
camaraderie of it.
I mean, that's really what it is at the end of the day. I don't even care if I mean, I'm losing regardless because like I'll get an Uber there and back and a case of beer and my buy-in, and it's just like worth it. Every penny. Started the shotgunning club and it has taken off. It's funny because every week it's just been, progressively just really getting going. This last week when I went, my Uber driver, I got in the car and this dude immediately starts talking to me about all of his traffic violations. I was like, dude, don't tell me that right now. Like, I am in you're driving me. And then like asking me the Arizona traffic laws. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what you want from me.
There was a dude. Another thing about Nashville, the worst Uber drivers. There was one guy who was asking me directions on where to go. And then another dude, I looked at his like dashboard and every single light was on, like check engine, like oil, gas, like everything was on. And then he didn't stop at a single stop sign or red light. He would just blow through them. And then he'd be like, and I'd be like, okay, what do we? And then on the way to the airport at 2:50 a.m. on Saturday, a guy's like, oh, that's the airport turn, and changes 5 lanes on the interstate and almost just hits a car. And he only missed the car because everyone in the car was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then
he's just driving based on what the passengers are saying.
And then after it calms down, Samson just goes, Jesus Christ. I love that for us.
Am I good on that side? Yeah, just wow.
We're in the airport and we're all like laying down because we have like a 2-hour layover. And this lady answers her phone and is on FaceTime just screaming. And Samson gets up and I'm like right next to her. I'm like, have earbuds in. Samson doesn't. He turns around and just goes, who the fuck is on their phone? And the lady just gets up and walks away.
I guess that's one way to do it.
Yeah, it's so funny. But go on poker night.
Oh, it's just been a really good time. Yeah, you get into bad Uber drivers when you get into the bigger cities. But now you can, like I said, wouldn't matter much for a couple days in Nash, but you can favorite drivers, give them a little favorite. I've yet to really see any benefit from that because I'm sure you just gotta like. I don't even know how that works.
Yeah.
You just never get these people. It's like favorite them. You'll never see them again, but at least they'll be your favorite. It's like, cool. Never forget you, Tony. Appreciate you, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
I hate, like, I actually like when the Uber drivers don't speak any English because I don't really want to talk to them. Like, I don't want to like have a conversation with like the when I got picked up in Arizona. The first thing before we even pull out of the parking lot, he's like, "I don't want to get political, but," and then just said the most political thing he possibly could. And so this guy speaks little to no English. We're driving down, and
You're driving along.
my buddy has zero ability to let a conversation just end. Like he's like, "How are you? Good." And we're driving, and it's like 5 seconds. We go by a Waffle House, and he just looks over at the driver. Reminder: this guy doesn't speak any English, and just goes, "You fuck with Waffle House?" And the guy's like, "What?"
Yeah, that's not the best way to ask somebody. Just you fuck with Waffle House. It's like, what? Do you want me to fuck Waffle House?
Yes, I fuck waffles.
Yeah, I didn't really have anything else, I guess.
Yeah.
Just shout out Poker Night. Been having a good time.
So I know we love to go over maps on this website or on this podcast. And
Do we?
I mean, we go over quite a bit of them of like what people are searching on porn. And so I sent you one, and it's what states are most ashamed of.
Oh, yeah.
North Dakota shouting out, "We are the ugliest residents." So that's cool.
Well, that fits you really well, but
Yeah.
mine also fits because Arizona is alcoholism. How did they know?
But it's better than South Dakota being known for rape.
What the fuck? All right, what do we have here? This is pretty basic.
Dude, go to the East Coast.
Which one's known for abortion?
That would be Delaware.
And then what is Maryland AIDS?
Yes.
It's brutal.
I love how you have breast cancer, or you have taxes surrounded by breast cancer, abortion, and AIDS.
Like what is that? South Carolina?
Most mobile homes.
Okay, then that's North Carolina. Teacher salary? Like, what is that?
It's the worst teacher salary. Or how about being from Arkansas? You just have the worst credit scores.
Apparently, people don't graduate from high school in Texas. Alaska's just downright sad.
How about it's like, yeah, Hawaii, cost of living. Like, no, sir, up there. It's like Alaska, suicide. Okie dokie then. One of my favorites is Washington State, being known for bestiality.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some of them are just classic, like Nevada with Las Vegas is crime.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Utah with, Mormons, porn usage.
Should just say soaking.
Wyoming is just fatal car crashes.
Louisiana's gonorrhea. So. Apparently, I should know these states. What is that one?
How about Alabama is just stroke?
Is that Missouri?
Oh wait, no, that's Louisiana is known for strokes.
No, Louisiana's gonorrhea.
Oh,
it literally looks like an LMAT.
Yeah. You know what, Jordan? Geography, not my.
Well, the back-to-back, there's worst credit score in bankruptcy, so just not great finances there.
Yeah, and then the other neighbor is cancer deaths.
Brutal.
The Ohio-Michigan rivalry is unemployment versus nerdiest state. I love the I always mix up Vermont and New Hampshire, and Vermont and New Hampshire's tag team of this one is corporate taxes and infertility.
I feel like this map would be good just like if you're just like doing a comedy bit and you're like, okay, just grab 2 terms from this map and then make a bit about it. We'll do gonorrhea and cocaine use for 400, please.
I like to drunk drive and watch porn at the same time.
Let's go to the Four Corners. Where are we at here? What's going on? Is this me?
Yep.
Okay, have you seen this guy on YouTube? I can't even pronounce like his username, but he's just like a normal, like white looking dude. And he knows like all the dialects of Chinese.
Yeah.
And he'll like go places to like get his nails done or like, eat at a restaurant. And he'll like start off with like English and then like surprise them by just speaking perfectly in their language. And it is kind of funny because it's really good content because I do love it when he's getting his nails done and they're just talking shit about his nails. They're like, this guy has the ugliest goddamn nails I've ever seen. What a moron. And then he's like, "Shaw," and they're like, oh.
Oh. When my sister worked at a Chinese restaurant, they hired a chef who had breathtaking anger issues, but he only spoke Cantonese. And the other chef, who, get this, had breathtaking anger issues, only spoke Mandarin. So they would scream at each other in two different Chinese dialects, not knowing what the other person's saying.
Yeah, that just sounds like an absolute nightmare.
Sounds like a sitcom episode.
Yeah, well, it is funny that the one like clip that I saw where he calls the lady out. So she's speaking in like whatever Chinese language, and then like he like says something in that language to like kind of bust her, and then she like switches to English. She's like, "I don't understand," and it's like, okay, now you're just changing languages. Like I'm confused. He's speaking perfectly in her language, and she's saying that she doesn't understand it. It's like, okay. Yeah, you just called the guy a fucking bag of dicks, and
Every time I'm like, I want to learn a new language. Like, it'd be so cool to like be able to communicate in a different language. Then I like look into like what would go into learning a whole new language, and I'm like, yeah, I got Google Translate. I'm good.
yeah. Well, my thing is like, oh, I want to learn a new language, and then I go to try to do it, and it's like, oh, well, I can't read this language, so I can't really,
I love how
can't really do it.
Rosetta Stone pitched. They're like, by listening for 8 minutes a day, you can learn Korean in 6 months. It's like, no.
First of all, no, that's hilarious.
As one of my buddies I used to play soccer with, he went to the library and rented a bunch of these tapes to learn how to speak like French. And he did it for like 6 months. And I was like, what can you say? He's like, a lot of fruits, and I can count to 80. And I was like, you've been doing this for 6 months?
He just and knows a lot of fruits of all.
Yeah, it's like, what about vegetables? Haven't got there
Nope.
yet.
Ooh, what's chapter 2?
Tough. I watched this sweet documentary on Netflix. It's called Secret Mall Apartment. And get this, these guys had a secret apartment in a mall.
No way.
So it's based in Providence, Rhode Island, which is home of drug use. And
the Friars.
yeah, so essentially they were building a mall. This guy saw like there was like a lot of wasted space. So he's like, I wonder what's there. And then he like walks around the mall, goes down this staircase, ends up going up like a ladder and finding this like huge empty space that like is very hard to get to. And you can actually get to it from the outside of the building by like crawling in between two buildings. So he like gradually moves like a couch, a bunch of cabinets, a TV, a PlayStation, and him and his 8 friends, like, they don't live there full time, but they would like sleep there and stuff. And they used this apartment for 4 years without anyone from the mall realizing it. And like they like almost get caught a bunch, and they're like videoing all of this. It's like an insane story. And they moved up, I think it was like 500 cinder blocks just in a car, like through like a fire escape staircase. And the alarm would just be going off the whole time, and like security would just never do anything about it. And they get caught by a cop, and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm an artist. Um, and I needed to pick something up from the mall." And he just has a pile of cinder blocks behind him. And the cop's like, "Yep, that checks out," and just leaves. And they built a fake wall with a door that only they had keys to, and had a fully functioning apartment that they were planning on like putting a bathroom in, and like a bedroom, and like it was insane. And then they finally get caught, and they I don't think they really got arrested or anything, but it's
How did they get caught?
There was like 2 new security guards that found like the room, but they just like kicked the door down, and then would just use the room during the day to like avoid work, and they would just play the PlayStation. And then eventually they stole like the PlayStation, and they had a bunch of pictures there, and they took the PlayStation and all like the pictures, because they could line up with like when they were there based on like when games were saved on the PlayStation. So they just used it as evidence against them, and yeah.
Sounds
Eventually,
really interesting.
Eventually one of them, they were like, "We're only going to go there now during the night when the mall's closed." And one of them was like, "I had a friend in town, and I wanted to show him the apartment." And we went there, and immediately were met by officers, and they arrested us. And I was like,
Interesting secret mall apartment.
yeah,
I did see something about that, but
yeah, I think I heard the story like a while ago, or I read it. I think I even brought it up on this podcast like 4 years ago. So I remember reading about it before, and I was like, "This is an insane story." And it's a really cool documentary, but it's also just goes to show how like terrible this mall security was, because they were bringing in like full dressers and like a huge china hutch that they're just like carrying up a staircase in the mall, and no one bats an eye.
yeah, that is pretty bad.
I was like, yeah, it's pretty sweet. Like they were just like climbing through a bunch of like, they had like an escape route too, because there was like multiple entrances to it. And they like knew their way around like super well, like in the bowels of the mall. That they would be like, they would buy movie popcorn from the movie there, and then they would just like walk through a side door, go down a flight of stairs, like go into like this weird hallway, and then they would like come out in their apartment. It was crazy.
Does it show you like where it was?
Yeah, it shows like there's like diagrams and stuff of like how they would get to it, and it's really cool.
Definitely gotta check it out. What's that movie of Channing Tatum where he's like living at Toys R Us or whatever?
Yeah, I watched that. That's based on a true story too.
Is that any good?
No. I mean, just like watch like the 15-minute YouTube video of the actual story, and it's better than the movie.
Noted.
Yeah.
Noted. Remember one time in college, like right around spring break, like right around this time, actually. I remember like I wasn't going home. I had to like work, or was taking like a little spring break like later in the week. And yeah, everybody was kind of like going home. And I remember I stopped at a friend's house just to see if they are around, but they must have already left. But like they didn't lock any of their doors, because I went in to like go say hi, and then nobody was there. And I kind of just sat on the couch for a while, and then I turned on the TV, and then I ended up just sleeping there that night on the couch, because I was like, well,
Yeah.
I got a place to myself, and I had my whole house that I lived at to myself too. Like nobody was in town. I was like, well, they got cable over here, the good stuff.
Yeah, one time it was like my dorm out at UMary was like, it was like Christmas break. I don't think we could be there. It was like Thanksgiving or Easter or something. And I was like, I'm just going to go out to the dorms, because like it was just easier to like drink out there, and like no one was out there, and I was like, oh, I'll go out there, and like people were coming out later, and I go out there, and like two of my friends that just didn't go home were just sitting in my dorm room hanging out, and I was like, what are you guys doing in here, and how'd you get there? Like, we climbed through the window. I was like, why my room? He's like, I don't know, you have a better TV than us. And I was like, get the fuck out of my room.
I am about to crank my hog. You
Yeah.
two better be gone in 2 minutes.
Yeah, freaking, this is about to be a beat off city, and there's gonna be some yeah, never mind.
Yeah, you're just playing hanky spanky, and next thing you know, people are crawling through your window, and you're like, dude.
Is that the point of no return?
Oh man, what are we finishing with? Oh yeah, what about this Ravens Maxx Crosby nonsense? What do you make of that?
I think there's gonna be some collusion case where the Ravens lose multiple first round picks, because what happened was the Ravens made a trade, like 2 first round picks and some other picks for Maxx Crosby. And they were like, cool. It was all announced pending physical. And then all of a sudden the Ravens were like, we don't want the trade anymore. They're gonna say like it was a physical thing because Maxx Crosby's coming off an injury. But then like 20 minutes later, they're like, yeah, we signed Trey Hendrickson, who plays the same position, and we don't have to lose our first 2 round, or like our 2 first round picks, and we can just pay this guy a bunch of money, and we're just going to say it was from the physical. So I think there's going to be some sort of like background of they were like, oh, we got Maxx Crosby, and they're like, well, we could get Trey Hendrickson, and then we're like, well, okay, we'll just back out of this Maxx Crosby trade. I think it's going to be major collusion.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess so. I had no idea it was that was even that complex, but I thought it without knowing that now. I thought before that it was like, oh, that actually works out great for the Ravens if they retain their picks and still get Trey Hendrickson.
Oh yeah, it's like it worked out too good for the Ravens, like, and for all that to happen on the same day. Nope.
Didn't their GM come out and say something like they were actually trying to get both Maxx and Trey? And I was like, oh, okay, you guys are just.
Yeah, then they have to use a popcorn vendor at quarterback because they can't pay everyone.
Yeah.
Or I don't get the NFL salary cap. So like we rolled part of his salary into a signing bonus. So now we have $24 million of free cap space. It's like, why do we have a salary cap if you can just do that?
Might as well just lift it.
Yeah, well, I saw an article too that it was like the Dodgers, hurting for cash, have sold the naming rights to their stadium, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, No Brains No Headache has entered a fantasy football or fantasy baseball draft that happens next Sunday, so I'm going to need you to do that for me.
Terrific. Sounds good. Oh, what about my Vikes? Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And I was 100% convinced I called it. So I was searching through our texts, and I was like, I totally called Kyler Murray going to the Vikes. And I finally found what I said, and I said, Anthony Richardson to the Vikings. You heard it here first.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
Hey, it still could happen, you know. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, and the Panthers signed 2 great defensive players, which will really help out their fucking horrible offense. So that's great. Yeah, we allowed 0 points. Tied.
Yeah, no, they did pretty good in that, but yeah. I don't like, I'm indifferent about Kyler Murray, I guess. I'm not like overly excited, but I'm also not, I don't think we're doomed. I think it's like solid. Let's just face facts. If anybody in the league could like turn around a good quarterback, I think it's very obvious that it's Kevin O'Connell.
I think Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, probably TJ Hawkinson, are about to have some huge fantasy years.
Just air it out.
Yeah, well, like look at like Kyler Murray when he was thrown to like DeAndre Hopkins. It was insane. He was thrown 45 times a game.
Well, yeah, I mean, Heisman winner, first overall pick. Dude could have went and played in the MLB if he wanted.
Yeah.
Obviously,
So he got drafted by the A's and he was like, ew.
Ooh,
play football.
Never mind. Yeah. I obviously like his size is an issue. It seems to be in the league, but like if he can get back to his, like I remember you'd play him in like fantasy football as a quarterback because he was just racking up points, a lot of rushing yards. So if he can get healthy and
I mean, he's just got to get out of the pocket and sling it, and that should be pretty easy when the Vikings line collapses almost every single play.
Yeah, and then to make it worse, the center just he's like, I'm retiring. So,
yes. Yeah, we'd like to give you a signing bonus. I'm good.
I'm gonna retire. Yeah, so I guess we will see what happens. We got USA in the World Baseball Classic tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And it's St. Patrick's Day when you're listening to this.
Yeah, USA all the way. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I don't have anything else, Matt. How about you?
Nope, we're good. We can get out of here. Make sure to follow us on social media. Leave us a rating, review. Do whatever you want.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.